Welcome back, Fins fans. Yes, we are 0-3, but we've still got the spirit of a goddamn moose. Do mooses have spirits? I have no idea.
Everything has spirits, yes.
This week we're facing off against a familiar foe. We take on the Jets of New Jersey. The big news in this one is that both teams are winless, which I think might be good news for us. I don't know. Someone's coming out with a W. That's all I know.
We'll see.
Welcome back, Fins fans. This is the 305 Gridiron, your favorite show for Miami Dolphins news, information, banter, complaining, whatever you want to do on any given day. We are here for it.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
On Monday, just 2 short days ago, we recorded our reaction video to the Bills and Dolphins Thursday night matchup. So that's more of a somber looking back on a loss kind of show, as it has been 3 times running now because we've yet to have a win. But this is our high-spirited, excited, emotionally ready for a win show.
Yes.
Where we talk about things that are never going to happen. We wax poetic about things that could happen but likely won't. And we make our team seem like Superman even when they're 0-16.
That's welcome to being a Dolphins fan.
Yeah. That's the name of the game. All right. This is the show of positivity. This is the show of we are going to win this next game.
Until we don't.
This is the show. This is the show where we give you 10 storylines to look out for in the upcoming matchup. Of course, we face the New York Jets. I've tongue-in-cheek in my intro said the Jets of New Jersey because that is, in fact, where they play. But they are the New York Jets. They are 0-3 as well.
Yes.
They have had their fair share of ups and downs, but outside of getting romped by Buffalo, 34-32 loss to Pittsburgh, 29-27 loss to Tampa. So 2 losses by 2 points.
Yep.
Or less. So we have a lot of storylines to talk about here because there's injury news aplenty for them. There's questionable decisions aplenty for us.
Yes.
And there's a former Miami Dolphin great's son playing on the opposite side of the field.
Criminal. It's criminal.
Crazy.
I don't like it.
Though Jason Taylor himself did play for the Jets for 1 season as well.
I blocked that out of memory.
Yeah, many Dolphins fans have chosen to forget that, myself included. Sorry for reminding you if you didn't want the reminder.
No, I appreciate it.
All right, bud. Let's get into our top 10 storylines for the Miami Dolphins versus New York Jets Week 4 matchup.
Hit me with it.
On a Monday night. Another primetime game, by the way.
Back to back.
Now, the good news is, and it's not necessarily all good news, is that we are in primetime. We are a nationally played game, but we are one of 2 nationally played games this Monday night. Yes. The other one being the Bengals and Ravens, which also promises not to be a very good game. So I don't know which one you're tuning into. As a Dolphins fan, obviously, we will be tuned into this one. But I think fans of the NFL in general or fans of not of these 4 teams are kind of like, what rich hell are we living in right now?
Yeah. And you know what? I want to, before we dive into number 10, sure. I have a 10.5 or a number 11 that I would like to throw your way. Sure. Super quick.
Honorable mention.
Don't need to spend a lot of time on it. But we are debuting our new insert NFL catchy title for New Jersey that I can't think of. Jerseys.
Rivalry jerseys.
Thank you. Rivalry jerseys. I am a big fan of it. I think they are insanely good looking. Yes. What are your thoughts? Are you excited to see them? Could you give 2 shits about what clothes they're wearing?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see how blue they are.
Yeah.
Because in images, the images are very dark and they look black, but we know for a fact they're not black. They are actually navy, like a dark navy blue, because that's Miami's third color is navy blue.
Yes.
So I am, because like a lot is riding on this, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
deciding between, do I get this style as my next like Dolphins piece of gear, or do I get the crucial catch style, which is back on the shop now?
Is it?
Which I love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
So
good one.
like I love the crucial catch style. I already
Mhm.
have that sweatshirt. You've probably seen me wear it on the
I
show a few
have a
times.
few times. I'm a little
Um,
jealous. Not gonna lie to you.
and so like I'm really torn. So
Yeah.
this is really going to kind of make or break it for me as to whether or not I what piece of gear I get. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely want something with this color scheme.
hmm
Is it a jersey? Question mark. Is it one of those cutoffs with the hooded cutoffs?
Oh, I think that's the.
Yeah,
I
those
mean,
are
if you guys
fire.
haven't seen this yet,
Yeah, they're
they
legit.
made a cut off hoodie. The arms are cut off on the hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
It is a
Sick.
thing of
It's sick
beauty.
looking.
Yeah.
It's really between a jersey and that. And
Yeah.
if I get a jersey, do I get a name? And if I do, it'll probably be Achan. If I don't, it'll probably just be Aqua Ace. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. Anyways.
I don't find myself buying the jerseys very often. I gotta admit, like
Yeah.
the last I had a Zach Thomas growing
Yep. Got
up.
one of those. Got
I
that one.
got Tannehill when we drafted him.
That one's signed, but got that one.
That one's nice. And then I got Tua when we drafted him.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I had 3 Tannehill jerseys, one in every color, and I bought the Waddle nameplate
There you go.
from like a Etsy shop
Easy peasy.
and went to my local dry cleaners and had them rip Tannehill's name off, throw Waddles on. It cost me $30 for all 3. That was great.
Let us know if you guys are excited for these rivalry jerseys.
Yes,
I
please
sure
do.
am.
I
The
am.
Jets are gonna wear theirs when we play in New York later this season.
Yes.
So just the Dolphins wearing the rivalry jerseys in this one. But they are dark navy blue with orange and teal accents.
They look sharp, dude.
They
really do.
The images look great. Now they don't always match the imagery, so it's really we have to see it.
Yeah.
You know,
as long as it's not the creamsicle jerseys or the orange sickle jerseys.
I freaking love those. I know I'm in the minority.
Dude.
I know I'm in the minority.
You and Frozen Fins fan. Shout out, Dirk. You guys love those ugly orange.
I don't
jerseys.
like the Dolphins version that they did because I think the orange is too sharp. But the Buccaneers they just wore this past weekend.
Yeah, those are sick.
Fantastic.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Fantastic.
Okay, we're talking too much about fashion.
Yeah, a little housekeeping before I move on to number 10. It's Bengals Broncos. I said Bengals Ravens.
Same difference.
Getting the matchups wrong here. Let's see if Bo Nix can do anything for anybody's fantasy team this Monday. All right, moving on to Dolphins Jets football. Number 10 is a spicy one, and this is in order of like our least favorite storyline to our favorite. So number 10, this is our least favorite storyline, but it's still a top 10, so it's there.
It is.
I wonder, now that I'm reading it again, because obviously we put this together before we get on here, I'm wondering if this should have been higher. Because the question is, Josh.
Yes.
Who the heck is getting fired first? We're talking head coaches, of course. Both Mike McDaniel and Aaron Glenn could potentially be feeling the heat. I think a little less on Aaron Glenn since his first season, and his team has played competitively. But even so, new coaches don't always get the benefit of the doubt. We have seen a lot of first-year head coaches fired.
Yep.
So a loss here puts the loser at 0-4. The Jets ownership isn't going to be happy about that. The Dolphins ownership might be happy about it. Stephen Ross is really, I have no idea what he's thinking ever. But like a lot of Dolphins talking YouTubers and a lot of Dolphins fans thought that if the Dolphins lost to the Bills last Thursday, that this would be the time that McDaniel got cut loose. It's 10 days between games. It is now Wednesday. It has not happened yet, so it's not going to happen.
No, it won't. I didn't think it would either.
So, I think there is a good question there, and this will be a question every week for Miami at least. Is this the game? Is this the final straw? If we come out looking flat, we're at home, by the way, in front of the national media against the Jets teams that many people expect us to beat. Like, where is Stephen Ross's patience?
Yeah, I think if I had to guess I think they're both on a very uncomfortable chair right now. I don't know. I don't know much about the Jets other than what I see on the stat line and kind of an all 22 film review before the podcast and stuff. But I mean, I would give the nod to Aaron Glenn, not because I think he's a worse head coach or that his team is in worse shape than Miami. I think Mike McDaniel has, and this is going to be counterintuitive to everything I've said over the last two weeks. He's earned enough rope from Ross to hang himself with, right? And I personally think, and I heard it on a couple other kind of talking heads, Miami Dolphins specific talking heads, that, it seems like if we win this game, if we lose this game, I think all bets are off. And I'm not sure how much longer Mike McDaniel will be around. If we win this game, we have a stretch of games that looks very winnable, right? With a lot of teams dealing with some key injuries and some quarterback injuries and some, other defensive like stalwart injuries for their teams, which and some rookie quarterbacks and some second year quarterbacks, so on and so forth. That if we win this game, I think I could see, Ross giving McDaniel, you have until the end of the stretch, which is like the next 6 to 8 games to show me something before the emergency handle is pulled, the parachute comes out. We try to clean house. And by clean house, I mean tidy the house up, because we need to make this an attractive place to want to come work. And right now it's not, because we're in cap hell. We have limited draft picks. We have players that aren't very good. We have players that aren't playing very well. And so I think, that's when a lot of trades might happen. And so, we might see Jalen Phillips was in the news today about potentially being traded to said Jets, for example.
I don't see we might that, but I can see him being traded. Yeah.
Right. Or Tyreek Hill being gone, or maybe somebody bites the Tua apple and we get something in return. I mean, who the heck knows?
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I think Mike McDaniel, if he doesn't start turning this season around, we're going to see some things where it's like, okay, time to go. And the season's done. So we're going to put, I don't know, we'll probably put Weaver in or someone, right? And then figure it out.
It's a really good point. I do think who's getting fired first and I think this question largely bases it on if they lose. At least that's, I think, how I meant to write it.
Yeah, that's probably who gets fired first, is whoever loses.
I think if McDaniel loses, I think there's a, much better chance he gets fired than if Aaron Glenn loses. They both teams have favorable schedules after this. The next 4 for each team is pretty favorable. But just in listening to you talk about this, it really brought up a point in my mind that we haven't mentioned yet, I don't think, on the show, is that the trade deadline's week 9.
Yeah.
Like, if at a certain, if we're 0-6, right? You need to clean house and let whoever the interim GM is going to be sell off as many pieces as he possibly can.
Yes.
Like, whatever he can get for whoever. I don't care. Yeah. Like, the roster's not so good where you're like trying to keep it together for the next GM. No,
there's a couple pieces. Right. There's a couple little pieces, and that's it.
These guys on their rookie contracts, things like that. Like, Achan's not going anywhere. Like, the guys we just drafted aren't going anywhere. I don't think Waddle's going anywhere.
Sealer, right.
Sealer, right. There's a few pieces who are staying, but like, they should be trying to get rid of Tyreek. They should be trying to get rid of, Jalen Phillips, like you just mentioned.
We will bite Tua, right? Like, I mean,
if they can find a bite on Tua, like maybe Cincinnati's still competitive and they want to take a chance on that. I don't know. Like, you need to give them enough time to do that. And if you fire him after week 6, that's only 3 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks to get something done. I think that's a point I haven't heard brought up yet, and I just wanted to highlight that. That's a really good point.
Yeah, and I think we just have to make this a desirable place to come play, right? The city, the weather, the people, the fans, all of that's great. But if a new GM is looking at a few job offers and a new head coach, or one of the, soon to be head coaches is looking at a few job offers, you want the person you want in the building, your number one choice, to want to come play here, because there's sustainability. We did not leverage and mortgage the future. So there's draft picks, there's cap space, there's room so that these two people can come in and build the team in which they envision. And to do that, you have to start, basically selling, ripping the car apart and selling it for pieces.
Absolutely. So that was number 10 on our top 10 storylines to watch in this one. who gets fired first, Aaron Glenn or Mike McDaniel in the case of a 0-4 start.
Yep. Quick shout out to
hey, yo, Balaka,
our
how you
guy,
doing, buddy? Thank you for
our
joining us,
guy,
dude.
right?
Yeah, awesome to have you back, man. So let's
Black
move
Eye,
into
you
number
really,
9, dude.
you really need to change your name to something I can pronounce on a regular basis, please.
I think you said it was Blake, right?
It is. We'll just put Blake.
We'll just call him Blake. It's almost like it's
I'm
easy
just
to
messing
call
with
him
you.
Blake.
You know what? You know what, Blake? You're part of the family. I can poke fun.
All right. Number 9 on our top 10 storylines, of course, it's the son of legendary Miami Dolphin and the nephew of another legendary Miami Dolphin. We're talking about Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas. Of course, it's Mason Taylor coming to town. Nobody was excited as a Dolphins fan to see the Jets draft Mason Taylor. I can tell you that for a fact. So far this season, he has been nothing to write home about. He hasn't really been involved in the offense. But last week, Tyrod Taylor in for Justin Fields, he targets him 4 times. That was more than he had been targeted the first 2 games combined. So I don't know. I thought this was just a fun little storyline to talk about because how often do you get to talk about like a double Hall of Fame, a person who's related to 2 Hall of Famers on your team playing for the opposite team?
Yeah, exactly. And for those of you that don't know, what would that make him? His uncle-in-law is Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas is his uncle, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. So, and coming out of LSU, I was a big Mason Taylor fan, right? I wanted us to draft him for many reasons. A, because I think he's a good player, but also for his ties to Miami history. And to your point, on the season, he has 6 receptions for 43 yards, average yards per catch at 7.2. Tyrod Taylor tends to, to what you said earlier, tends to use his tight ends more so than Justin Fields. So if Taylor's on the field, I do not want this to be a week 1 situation, right? With Warren tearing us up for 9 receptions for 100 bajillion yards and 17 touchdowns.
Could be a Mason Taylor breakout game.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Play the Dolphins. Your tight end will be, start your tight ends against the Dolphins. But yeah, no, I think it's really cool, right? I hope that maybe not outwardly on the field pre-game, during game, but I hope that there's a little bit of kind of fanfare, right? That he gets to walk around the facility to see all of the cool historical stuff that his dad did with this team, which I'm sure he already has growing up, right? But it's just a really cool kind of nostalgic thing. Like I said, I really wanted him on the Dolphins. It sucks that he's a Jet, but nobody's perfect.
There's now 3 that I can think of, but I'm sure there's more famous Dolphins who have sons in the league now, and we don't have a single one of them.
I know
Patrick Surtain, it wasn't really possible for us to get him. That would have been amazing, though.
Jesus, yeah, I know.
And then this season, 2 tight ends, Mason Taylor and Arondé Gadsden a second.
Yeah.
Both were in this year's draft, the 2025 draft, and we obviously don't have any of them on our team, but that's okay. We can still follow their careers. Yeah,
let's get them all.
It would have been wonderful to get Patrick Surtain. He couldn't have sucked just a little bit more, so he would have fallen to us. That would have been nice.
Yeah. That would have been. You know what? We're Dolphins fans, but we're not that lucky.
Let's move on. All right, number 8 on the top 10 storylines going into this Dolphins Jets Monday night matchup. It's a spicy one.
Yeah.
The curse of the AFC East. Now, I haven't forgot to look up what Miami's loss total record is right now against the AFC East. I think it's 3 or 4 in a row. But that does not compare to the New York Jets, who have lost 13 straight games against divisional opponents. Now, if that's not a mental roadblock, I don't know what is. And we have so far this season been the team that helps opposing teams break the trend. Let's not be that again here.
Right. Because week 1, the Colts had haven't won a game since
13 games again.
Yeah,
13.
13. Yeah.
13 opening games that the Colts had lost, and then they beat us. And then there was something with the Patriots or the Bills. There was another one there, and they broke it against us again. So 3rd time's the charm in stopping a team from breaking.
Yeah, the one against the Patriots, I think, was Tua hadn't lost
Tua hadn't lost to the Patriots. You're right.
Ever in his career, and now he has. And Miami Dolphins, for whatever it's worth, all-time record against the AFC East: 222 wins, 174 losses, 1 tie, and we are 0-3 in our last 3 games against the AFC East.
What a beauty!
Yep. So,
What a beauty.
dating back to last year, this year we're 0-2 because we lost the Patriots and the Bills.
Yeah, we split 1-1 with the Jets last year, by the way. It took overtime to get the win in week 14 last year. And then in week 18, for us to even have a chance to make the playoffs, Tyler Huntley was playing. We lost 32-20.
Yep.
Finishing the season at 8-9.
Look, I'll keep this one simple, right? I don't want to be on this side of history again.
No.
Once a season is good enough for me. Thank you very much. But I'll tell you what, this is honestly my fanhood and my bias, so I apologize for those AFS, those Jets fans that are listening to this either live or later on. But they're a lot better team than I thought they were, and that's the only good thing I will say about the Jets.
Stop it! I know we're trying. I don't know why we try to be objective on a podcast where like literally the Miami Dolphins is splattered, like their colors are splattered all over. We're both wearing Dolphin shirts, and then we're like, we're still going to be objective over here.
Yeah, we're going to be 100% objective and definitely not lead with our fanhood. But sorry, my fanhood is showing, and I'm not, and I'm proud to.
Definitely
I'm
not.
Proud.
Definitely gonna have some fanhood leaking out. All right, so the first three, who's getting fired first is number 10, Mason Taylor's reunion quotes game against the Miami Dolphins. And then the curse of the AFC East, the Jets have lost 13 straight games to the AFC East. Can they break that against the Miami Dolphins? I think they do have a decent chance there, but we'll talk about scores a little later on. Let's get into number 7, the battle of the running games. Both teams perform significantly better when their all-star running backs are getting the ball. We have Devon Achane on our side, who has been our savior in many a game.
Jesus, yes.
They have Breece Hall on their side, who has done the very same for them.
Yep. He's had some off games, though.
He's had some off games, but everybody does, especially when you're playing for the Jets.
Fair
not
point.
that we've been much better. I know we have so much shade against the Jets, and we haven't been any better.
What do you expect? If you expect anything less, you know what? That's on you.
When there's two teams in a division that are notoriously bad, I feel like they throw even more shade at each other.
Really?
It's
seriously.
It's insane. But anyways, yeah. So it's Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon versus Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. It's a very comparable 1-2 punch on both sides of the equation here. So I think that whichever team is actually capable of running the ball better, may have the better day.
Yep. Yeah. And before I get to my take, my opinion on this, I just want to give a shout out to Sports Nights with George. Thank you so very much for joining, sir. And you know what, for the running games, I understand Breece Hall has the kind of name recognition, right? I think Miami has the better 1-2 punch. Now, whether we use that is a completely different conversation. And, Mike McDaniel, that's on you. But for whatever it's worth against the Bucs, Tyrod Taylor was, I believe, their leading rusher, right? With 48 yards. So, we'll see how that goes. But Achane is kind of the straw that stirs this drink on our side of the pond, if you will, right? And I think if we can get Devon Achane and we can get Ollie Gordon going, that's one hell of a 1-2 punch, and that'll open up so much more in the passing game. And I hope that'll kind of settle Tua down a little bit, right? Because if we can start getting some chunk gains and they have to drop some safeties in the box a little bit lower, you're one-on-one with Tyreek or Jalen Waddle or Malik Washington. I think in any one of those cases, outside of whoever's being guarded by Sauce Gardner, I think it's a favorable matchup for the Dolphins. Now, whether it all works, that's a whole different story. But where I love Breece Hall, so don't shade me for that. I think Breece Hall is one hell of a running back. Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon is definitely, at least in my opinion, the better 1-2 punch.
Yeah, statistically, Achane and Hall have very similar rushing numbers this season so far. But where Achane takes the cake is in the receiving game. He's tied for the lead in receiving with 23 targets. Tied for the lead in targets with 23, leads the team in receiving with 18 receptions. So
that's going to be a problem for us.
Anywho. You can clearly see who the 3 targets are. Tua only supports 3 targets, and at least it's Hill and Waddle and Achane this year.
Thank God.
So at least our 3 playmakers are the 3 top targets. So
that's a great point. That's a great point by George, right? Taylor has great numbers versus us. He's a 5-4 record with good numbers.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Look,
don't
he's
even
a
have
savvy vet,
Tyrod
man.
on. I don't even have Tyrod on our top 10 storylines because I'm not scared of him at all. But
No.
we will talk about him. We will talk about the quarterback situation for the Jets.
Yes.
But spoiler alert, little foreshadowing. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of Tyrod Taylor. Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's jump. This is how we usually do it. It always just works out this way, and I'm not sure if we mean to do it this way or it just happens to work out. But like usually, the bottom 5 are more of the opposing team focus, and the top 5 are more Dolphins focus. I don't know how we don't plan it that way. I promise. So number 6 on the top 10 storylines going into Dolphins Jets Monday night matchup. What is the Jets' defensive identity? We have seen them allow a lot of points so far this season. What? I lost my schedule here. 34 against the Steelers, 30 against the Bills, 29 against Tampa. But are they as bad as they look, or has this just been a tough start to the season?
I mean, look, I'm not a Jets fan, but here's what I do know about the Jets, right? They have an aggressive front 7. They're zone heavy from a coverage standpoint. And they press a lot because they have the cornerbacks to press, which for those Dolphins fans, we know that gives our wide receivers some problems.
Yeah.
And they headhunt, right, from a turnover standpoint. So they're very opportunistic, right? So those are kind of the things that concern me, right? But they do bend. They play that bend, don't break, where kind of in between the 20-yard marks, they play a little loose, they play a little off, they play a little up, they take some chances, they kind of mix it up. And so I think the Jets defense is the team's identity. I think this team goes as their defensive place, right? I mean, that is not shading the weapons that they have on offense, because they do have weapons on offense in Garrett Wilson and the person we just spoke about in Breece Hall. But I think, if we can get their defense on their back heels early, if we can run the ball early, I think it opens up so much in the game as the game goes on, which would kind of force them into a corner, which we can then hopefully capitalize on.
Yeah. Fun but not so fun stat for these two teams is neither defense has a turnover yet this season. They're actually 2 of the only 3 teams that hasn't forced a turnover, which is troubling both from a Dolphins perspective and, if you're a Jets fan, from your perspective as well. Turnovers give your offense another opportunity to score.
Yep. Get your defense off the field.
Yeah, kind of an easy concept to understand. I do think the defense is the identity of the Jets, especially with Aaron Glenn at coach, and he played defense for the Jets in his heyday. They obviously have Sauce Gardner back there, who can be a problem for Tyreek Hill, and notoriously makes Tyreek Hill kind of invisible. But I think, more importantly, this Quincy Williams kid is...
Well, he's injured, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
I think so.
He is. He's on IR. Oh,
yeah.
God, that is such a relief for us. I am sorry I'm sorry. I don't want to see him hurt, but that kid would have destroyed Tua.
He really would have. And I saw that pop up about an hour before the show, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Yeah. So I mean that's good for us. They still have some good pieces. Quentin Williams is still there. Will McDonald's still pretty good. Sauce Gardner, of course, he's questionable actually to play in this game, but I don't know what his status is right now. Yeah, I think statistically neither team is doing wonders on defense. We're letting up 31 points a game. I think they're letting up 30. So it's not like there's this huge, crazy advantage to either team when it comes to the defense. But that could be telling for Miami's offense as to whether or not they can move the ball against a team who has struggled to stop opposing offenses for 3 straight games.
Yeah, 100%. Right. I think this is going to be whatever. This is one of those typical, whatever team has the turnover or wins the turnover battle, rather.
Oh, 100%.
Is going to win this game, hands down, because this is going to be close, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully not from a Dolphin standpoint, but hopefully if we're losing, it's going to be at least close enough until the end so we can hopefully make a drive to win the game. But it's going to be interesting.
So number 6 was the Jets' defensive identity. What's on the docket for number 5, my friend?
Yeah, so number 5 actually is something I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on. It's, can the Dolphins defense maintain the momentum that it had coming off of the Bills game, right? So after getting shredded early in the season, we all know the Dolphins defense showed some fight against the Bills. They showed up, they were, they bent and did not break. In some cases, they held Josh Allen to a few 3 and outs that our offense unfortunately couldn't do much with. Thank you, Tua. But is this more of a sign to come, or was it more of a flash in the pan?
Well, I keep pointing in, like you mentioned it. I keep going back
Mhm.
to the 2 3 and outs on Josh Allen, which
Yeah.
getting a stop on Josh Allen is amazing enough. To get a 3
Mhm.
and out on Josh Allen is electric. I can't really describe it any other way. And
Yeah.
for this defense to get a 3 and out on Josh Allen, just one, let alone two, like
Mhm.
I do not know what got into them on those 2 drives.
They had
I really
enough.
don't. But let's find it. Let's bundle it up and let's keep it there for the rest of the season. Okay? Like we need to just use that energy to keep this defense going because we talked about all offseason. We knew that the cornerback room was going to be bad. Chris Greer knew
Mhm.
the cornerback room was going to be bad. Anthony Weaver knew the cornerback room was going to be bad. The whole point was we're going to use our front 7 to mask the fact that we have one of the worst secondaries in the league, right? Now we go out and get Minka, and that's very good. Dante Trader has had some flashes at the safety position.
Mhm.
Ashton Davis and Melifon were kind of going back and forth
Mhm.
as the other starter at safety. I truly think, and we'll talk about this later when we get to our predictions.
Mhm.
I'm a Minka guy this game, bro.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
Minka's going to have an impact here. He has not really had a chance to play center field a lot, but with a running quarterback like Tyrod, I think we could see a hit jar a ball or two loose.
Yep.
And yeah,
Hey,
it's
any kind of turnover is welcome.
yeah,
And here's a great point, right?
yeah,
Blake thinks the defense is going to keep improving, and so do I.
yeah.
To an extent, I think they are capped with their a lack of talent, lack of high end talent at the cornerback position. I think that severely handicaps this team. But we need our front 7 to start playing like the top 5 front 7 that I thought this team had. Right.
Yeah, and I think that's why so many people are hating
Mm-hmm.
on Chris Greer, though. It's like you knew the corner room was going to stink anyway. They don't know the freaking
Yeah.
playbook. They don't know the scheme. They're
Mm-hmm.
coming in and with a hope and a prayer. Let's make a play. I mean, Rasul Douglas was thrown out there the day after we signed him. Like
Yeah.
that dude
Yeah.
was just being like, "What the frick am I doing
Okay.
out
I'm
here?"
going to cover this guy. That's all I'm doing, guys.
Right. Like, and to Blake's point, like they're going to keep improving, they're going to keep gelling, they're going to get better with each other, they're going to get better with the system.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Weaver, without a doubt, is spending every waking hour trying to improve and trying to find ways to put guys in better positions.
Yep.
We did see KJ Britt a little bit more last week. Unfortunately, we're still not seeing Willie Gay Jr. I do not know what Willie Gay has done to Anthony Weaver to deserve such
Yeah. I
poor
don't know.
treatment. I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure he has like 11 plays on the year, which is
Which
absurd.
is, I think he's better. In my look, this is no shade on Dotson, right? But if it was
Yeah.
my defense, I would be playing Gay next to Brooks
Yeah,
over
Dotson hasn't
Dotson.
just it just hasn't looked good.
Yeah. And
And we were
Blake here,
both
I mean,
yeah.
really good point, right?
Yeah.
We all said it. Dude, we all said it.
Except me.
This well, except for you, because you know, you're a glass half empty kind of guy. No, I'm kidding.
I am not. I'm a glass half full, but this defense, I didn't know what you all were looking at with
No,
this
just
defense.
a front, like top 3 front 7. He's talking about front
Oh,
7,
he's talking
not
about the
total
front.
defense,
Oh, I
right?
did say that. I thought he
You
meant the
did.
whole defense. That's my bad.
No, hell no. If
That's me.
nobody thought this defense was a top
Yeah.
3 defense.
I thought at least a top 5 front 7, but they've been awful. I mean, Jalen
Yeah.
Phillips looks lost out there. We're putting guys in coverage who have no right to be in coverage.
Yes.
Judon
Like
lets up a
Judon. Like,
touchdown
what are
last
you
week.
doing, dude?
I have no like. I don't even really blame him that much. I get it.
No, of
He's
course.
an athlete. He's an NFL player, but this dude's old and his specialty is pass rushing. We're putting him out there in the flat to cover a running back on the 3-yard line. This is stupid.
Yeah, and George, good point, right? I'm starting to shade to not believe in this thing, right? Because I'm seeing the wheels starting to come off. However, they can't. The stretch of games that are coming up, right? These next 6 to 8 games are all winnable. I mean, outside of maybe 1 or 2, and if we can pull off a win, an upset win against a team that we shouldn't beat, I think this team can turn around. And all the if you've played any sort of sports, you know that confidence rings true. right? And so you see the defense start making plays. They start feeding off each other, which then sparks the offense to try to one up them. And then they do something good. And then the defense, and then it's just this pendulum that swings back and forth. And then next thing you know, it's the 2023 Miami Dolphins all over again. So
Our defense under Mike McDaniel has been a defense that will come to play 2 or 3 games out of the year, and the rest of the year make you scratch your head and say, where the heck did the team go that held XYZ to 0 points, right? Like, it's so confusing.
Yep. And on that note, speaking of Mike McDaniel, right, and being frustrating, number 4 on our top 10 keys to the game, things to look out for in this Miami Dolphins versus New York Jets Monday Night Football games and their fancy threads. Is the Dolphins offense finally ready to throw the ball downfield, right? After frustratingly focusing on screens and short throws, which you and I have been screaming to legitimately, even my post, I've been yelling at my post guy, right? To like, why are we not throwing the ball downfield? We started seeing it a little bit, right? We saw a little glimpses of it against the Bills, right? Those play actions, and it all starts with the run game, and our run game did well with Ollie Gordon and, and Devon Achane really starting to churn. And we fed off of that into play action, right? And then a little bit of screens, and then we went downfield again, and not our fault. Tyreek can't catch a ball anymore. But with the struggling Jets secondary, albeit with a very star player in Sauce Gardner, is that
Sauce Gardner?
Yep. Yeah. This could be a game where we finally see it, right? Where we finally see, you know what? We're 0-3. Pardon my French for those of you that are sensitive to foul language, but fuck it. Let's see what happens, right? I mean, look, we can't get any worse, right? So what are your thoughts?
I was hopeful that we were ready to start pushing the ball back down the field after the Patriots game. Tua averaged 9.8 yards per completion. He was pushing the ball down the field. He was looking like a little bit of 2023 Tua again. Yeah. And against the Bills, we saw some long passes, but 12 of his 22 completions were at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like, that means he only had 10 completions past the line of scrimmage. That's insane. That's insane.
And that's not on Tua.
His average depth of completion was 4.3 yards. I mean, there's running backs with better yards per carry averages than that. It's like, I just don't get it, man. Like,
there's also better running backs with better passing yards than that.
Well, yeah, and I know, like, we like to blame McDaniel for this, but you're a tape. I'm not a tape guy. You're a tape guy. Our friend Taylor's a tape guy. You guys have both watched. It's Tua. He's the one not pushing it down the field. He's got guys down there. He's just not. He's just mentioned it in the reaction show. He's playing scared. He's scared he's going to get hit. He's scared that the offensive line is going to collapse. He's scared if he throws an interception, blah, blah, blah. But then he goes and throws the stupidest interceptions you've ever seen. Like, the defenses don't need to play back because Tua is not going to force them to. And until he starts doing that again, it's 2024 all over again.
Yeah, and I am very cautious with saying it's all Tua, right? And I know
it's not all Tua, but I mean, like,
I know what you mean. I get
it's 50-50 at least.
Yeah, I know. I totally. Yeah. I'm with you 100. You and I are on the same page on this. I promise. However, it is very, and I'm not saying this in response to what you said, but just in general, from everything that I'm hearing on podcasts and TV and networks and and YouTube channels and all that other stuff. It's, well, Tua doesn't do insert thing, right? But it is on Tua. Tua is a problem right now, and not a good problem.
Yeah.
But Tyreek Hill running the wrong routes, not catching balls. You have Waddle falling down on a few routes. You have, false starts, or you have Malik Washington jumping the gun before the ball snapped. You have Mike McDaniel calling dumbass plays over and over and over again instead of sticking with what's working. We run the ball and we're throwing the ball down the field, and then we get inside the red zone, and all he does is screen passes and bubble screens. And it's like, dude, I don't know what his deal is. So this is a joint effort.
Yeah.
But Tua needs to get his shit together. And we've said it numerous times in various ways. Tua needs to stop overthinking everything, right? Because that's what it looks like he's doing.
You know what's frustrating with watching the rest of the league, though, is that, like, the manufactured bubble screens and stuff don't need to happen. No. We're consistently seeing delayed routes throughout the league that work extremely well. with a running back sitting blocking for 1-2 Mississippi and then releasing, right? Like tight ends aplenty. Tanner Conner has been invisible. Julian Hill finally had a nice catch in this Bills game. It gets called back for a legal man downfield or whatever heck it was. Like, man,
hey, Darren Waller's coming back, so all is solved.
I got to be honest. I think Julian's looked great this year.
He really has.
Like, we hated Julian Hill last year.
It tastes like vinegar saying it, though.
It's awful. But in that Bills game, he showed something. He showed the ability to get open. He showed the ability to get down the field. And he did have 2 really nice catch and runs, and one of them unfortunately got called back. Listen, to get to the point of can we throw it down the field, I think that's the only way we're going to start winning is if we do. So either you don't want to lose your job, so you start to push the ball down the field more, or you don't care enough to about losing your job, and you lose your job because you refuse to do it. So that's the options at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing we said on after in the Bills reaction show, which I think really rung true to me and really kind of changed, my perspective on some things, is that Mike McDaniel, when things aren't working, he doesn't adjust. He adds more complexity to something that's not working in the hopes that it fixes it. Right. So what was a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, then leak out, right, as the kind of last remaining option, as the, emergency pull, break glass kind of thing. Now it's, okay, well, we're going to run this guy in motion because that didn't work. So we're going to run Tyreek Hill over here, and then he's going to stop halfway and then run back. So he's full sprint into his route. Okay, well, that didn't work because he got jammed at the line of scrimmage, or he ran out of bounds and wasn't able to catch the ball. So we're going to, okay, I got an idea, guys. We're going to do Waddle and Hill in motion, and then we're going to motion Achane out the backfield, but he's going to come back. And it's just this complexity that is so unnecessary that if Mike McDaniel can just, and I'm saying this as somebody that's never coached anything higher than flag football in college, right? So what the hell do I know? But if you can just simplify your offense a smidge even to allow your players to do what they do best. We have very talented wide receivers. We have very talented running backs. And I don't care what you say about Tua. He looks like shit all season, but he's a talented quarterback. He's one of 32 starting quarterbacks in this NFL.
Right.
You have talent on this team. Let your talent speak for itself instead of trying to engineer your talent to be successful. And I think if Mike McDaniel can get out of his own way a little bit, even, I think we'll see this team kind of turn the corner a little bit. I'm not saying we'll start winning games, but at least we'll look like a somewhat competent offense. Yeah. So before I get into the final 3, okay, for those of you in the chat, those of you that are watching, those live that are listening to after the fact, man, please let us know. What are your thoughts on the top 10? Do you want to, Anthony, you want to run through what we've done so far, or do you want me to run through?
Yeah, top 10 storylines thus far. Number 10, who's getting fired first if they go 0-4? Mike McDaniel, Aaron Glenn. Number 9, Mason Taylor's reunion game. There wasn't really much to say here. This was just a fun little segment. Say, hey, Mason Taylor's playing against us. Is Jason Taylor's son, of course. The curse of the AFC East. The Jets have lost 13 straight to the AFC East. Battle of the running games, Devon Achane versus Breece Hall. These are 2 top-tier running backs going head-to-head against 2 defenses that have struggled to stop the run. The Jets' defensive identity, what is it? They're allowing around 30 points a game this season, despite the defense being their bread and butter. So is it just because they faced 3 hard teams, or is it because their defense isn't as good as they look? Number 5 was, can the Dolphins' defense maintain momentum? We got a little momentum against those Bills, 2 3-and-outs against Josh Allen. Can we keep that going? Can we keep building on it? Can we keep improving? And then, of course, we just finished up number 4. Is the Dolphins offense finally ready to push it down the field? We saw it in the Patriots game, a little bit in the Bills game. We need to see it way more the rest of the season.
Yeah, so please tell us in the comments, what are your thoughts about any of these? Do you think Miami will start throwing the ball down the field? Do you think Miami's defense can maintain the momentum? All right, going into number 3, the final 3. Going into number 3. The trench warfare. Man, that's so fancy. Dolphins offensive line versus the Jets defensive line. Yeah. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to let you run with this for a minute.
It's going to be trouble. The right side of the line looks awful, and I've mentioned a few times now that Tua looks scared because that is his blind side, and we have Larry Borum and Keon Smith playing in there. Although we did see some accountability, at least on the offensive line. Keon Smith was pulled in that Bills game after whiffing one too many times. I think Danny Brunskill came in for him, actually. Is that how you say the guy's name?
Yeah,
I
Brunskill.
don't even know our own
Yep.
players.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not an offensive line genius. All right,
I am.
anyways, moving on. The Jets defensive line, obviously, they're a little hurt with Quincy Williams, their best pass rusher, being out, but they do still have Quinnen Williams back there who can be a formidable force still, even though he's getting a little up there. Jermaine Johnson, Harrison Phillips, and Will McDonald round out their front four. They are, of course, playing a 4-3 defense there. So I think what we got to look out for the most is the fifth man rushing. We have not been good at picking up the fifth man. They got guys like Andrew Sisko in that backfield and Michael Carter coming in at the nickel. I think that they can make big plays happen. And when Tua gets hit on that blind side, he can cough up that ball, man. So our offensive line, if they are capable enough to hold up the defensive line, I would watch out for those blitz packages sending a fifth and sixth man because if we can see that we haven't been great at picking it up this year, Aaron Glenn can certainly see it. So that's more of my worry than anything right now.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly where I want to hone in on, right? It's can our tight ends and our fullback and some of our second, third, maybe even fourth string players that are playing now due to injury, can they at least chip someone? Can they get a hand on somebody to reroute them even by half a step? Because that half a step is the difference between Tua getting sacked and fumbling, or worse, getting injured, and Tua being able to step up into the pocket or step outside of the pocket to make a throw. Yep. That is going to be what I focus on in this game. It's not going to be the flashy Ferraris that we have on and the skill positions, because look, if we're humming, right, if we're tuned up, these guys are good, right? To great even in some cases. I'm looking at the big uglies on the offensive line, right? Jonah Savaianaya, somebody that I was over the moon that we drafted, has looked like a rookie, and I'm not going to shade him for it. I am almost 40 years old, so I've seen and I'm used to, I grew up in the era where your rookies sat to learn the game, to get stronger, to get endurance, to get positional awareness of what was required for them to do their job properly. As the years have gone on, as I've gotten older, as we have gotten older, they get thrown right in, and people don't give a shit. Like, they think that it's an easy thing to come from college into the pros. It seems like it's like, oh, why can't they just figure it out?
Super simple.
Yeah, super simple, right? And I think I'm giving Savaianaya a little bit of grace for this season, for the entire season, right?
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what he does next year. If he can figure out how to clean himself up, really, and his play up, I think he is a difference maker on the offensive line. And that's really kind of one of the things in the trenches that I'm looking forward to.
At least though, and I know we're going to get to delusion here. I just want to throw it out there. At least Patrick Paul has looked freaking great.
He has, dude. What a breath of fresh air Patrick Paul is. And for everything that people are shading him for, I think our center has looked amazing. Right?
Yeah, he had one gaffe in the Bills game, but I mean,
that's okay, right? I mean, delusional fins, right? I'm terrified of joining this game. Yeah, I understand it, right? It makes sense, and I'm forcing myself to remember that he's a rookie.
No.
He needs a little bit of grace. He needs a little bit of time to kind of get his sea legs under him. It's only game 3 for him. This will be game 4. If he's still playing like this at the end of the season, I will start being concerned a little bit. And if he starts next season playing like he has in these first 3 games, that's where it gets a little shaky. I wanted to pause before we get to the final 2. I want to give a shout out to Delusional Fins, to Blake, to George, to everyone that's joined us in the chat tonight. Thank you so very much for joining us live, for commenting, for engaging us. We absolutely do this for you guys. We like to hear ourselves talk, but more so than that, we really do appreciate you guys joining and giving us your opinions and commenting and liking and subscribing and doing everything that you guys do to support the show. So just wanted to take a moment to really shine the light on you guys and really, really thank you both, or thank all of you.
That's what you guys are saying too. Tua looks like he doesn't have one in terms of a pilot flies the plane with his crew. I mean, I can't agree more. He looks like he's out there on his own.
Yeah.
He's trying to do too much, which we've seen before from him. He needs to have a little more confidence. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Blake answered our questions. Thank you very much, Blake.
Yes.
The Taylor thing is cool. Achan's going to ball, and the Jets defense is about to get shit on.
I love it.
We're going to carve up the Jets, according to Blake. I hope so, man. We're going to get to predictions here in a little bit, and we'll see what we have to say about that.
Absolutely love it, man. All right, so number 2 on our 10 things to watch, 10 key storylines. Who's starting at quarterback for the Jets, right? I mean, I think we have a firm grasp that it's probably Tyrod Taylor, right? Because I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the injury report, but I'm pretty sure Justin Fields has been ruled out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's still kind of game.
I don't see it yet, but
okay, so maybe it's a game time decision.
Concussion protocol, which is anybody's guess as to.
That is very true. Our luck, it'll be Justin Fields, who I'm also not all that scared of. But okay, so what are your thoughts, right? So will it be their franchise quarterback, in air quotes, Justin Fields, returning from the concussion protocol, who gives an entirely new level to his game that worries me from a scrambling quarterback position? He's not all that great of a thrower, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about his scrambling ability. Or do you think the kind of grizzly veteran that's been around the block, that's played in, I think, every team except for maybe 2, in Tyrod Taylor, who's proven he can actually game manage, which is what they need in their quarterback if it's him? What are your thoughts?
I think that I would much rather face Tyrod Taylor than Justin Fields. You know, I know we've had this kind of debate before. I am a Justin Fields fan and you are not, and that is fine. But in the first game against Pittsburgh, he did have nearly 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And I think what Fields does that Tyrod doesn't is he opens up the run game more. We saw Breece Hall absolutely go off in that first game just because the defense has to account for Fields at all time, right? Like he is an incredibly versatile runner. He is an incredibly dangerous quarterback with his legs and his arm. He can sling it nearly 10 yards per completion in that Steelers game. So he can really sling the ball down the field. If we face Fields, I think my prediction's much different than if we face Tyrod. I think Tyrod, I have never really been a Tyrod guy, and he's played in both New York teams now with actually all 3. He's played for the Bills, the Jets, and the Giants. So
Pretty sure he played for the Patriots too, man.
Yeah, so we've gotten to see plenty of him because you and I live up here in Patriots, Bills, Giants, and Jets territory. So we've gotten to see plenty of him play football. I'm never really impressed. That doesn't mean he won't tear us up. We don't have a very good defense, but if you're saying like, hey, which one would you rather face? Like, give me Tyrod.
Yeah, and I feel the same way, right? For all of my, I almost said disdain for my lack of confidence in Justin Fields as an NFL quality starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I would much rather face Tyrod. I think he can scramble. I mean, he led the team in rushing against the Bucs, right, with 48 yards. And they're a very good team, right? So, I mean, he does. You can't just. He's not a Tom Brady, right? He's not going to sit back in the pocket and scramble twice a year,
right?
But I think his age, you know, his what he can and can't do as a player gets older, kind of your body starts breaking down. I think he offers a lot less concern in a key aspect of what their offense wants to do, which is to run the ball, which means we can load up on focusing on their running backs and hopefully kind of contain Tyrod Taylor to just passing the ball, which I think if we can do that, then I think it kind of props us up into a position in which we can win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is no matter who we're facing at quarterback, you have to hit them. Because if you're not hitting them, they get too comfortable, and we haven't hit any of these quarterbacks yet.
Seriously. Well, Chubb, outside of Chubb, he's got a sack in every game. So can we maybe get 2 from Chubb? That would be
I don't
great.
even care if we get sacks. I mean, just hit the guy.
Like, you mean like physically? Just
like get in there and get quarterback. Like quarterback hits are legal if you hit him within half a second of him throwing a ball. Like hit the damn guy. I am so sick of this. The defensive line has been the softest looking unit we have, and it drives me crazy.
Which is insane because it's the most talented unit on the on the defensive side of the ball. So
no dogging them, bro. No dogging them.
Hopefully they let them out, right?
Yeah.
And all right,
so dogs out. We need that.
I tried not to. I couldn't stop myself. All right, so number 1 on our list, right? Number 1. This is the last one of our 10 things to watch about in this Monday, or to watch about. Jesus, I can speak English, I promise. 10 things, 10 storylines in this Monday night game against the Jets. The battle for a first win on Monday night prime time
I
football.
can't even believe it.
Are, a couple questions, right? Is this a do or die game? Is this you have to win this game for either one of these teams or both, right? If whoever loses, is this kind of your season's over? Like it's officially done, right? I mean, you might eke some wins out, but you're not doing anything this year. And for the team that wins, is this a confidence booster that propels them to start stringing some wins together? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's absolutely do or die. You can't start 0-4. I mean, you get realistically, even as a first-time coach, you're getting looks all around for Aaron Glenn if you're starting 0-4.
Yeah.
You came in here talking, you were dancing on the sideline against the Buccaneers, and then you up losing. That's some egg on your face right there. You came from a Detroit Lions team that has been wildly successful under Dan Campbell, and you were expected to bring much of the same to the Jets. So if you start 0-4, people are already questioning you. I mean, it's the NFL, right? What have you done for me lately, league? And then the Mike McDaniel front, we've covered 1,000 times over. Should 0-4 be a do or die for him? Absolutely. Will it be? I don't know, because Stephen Ross seems to have some sort of special nugget for Mike McDaniel that we don't know what it is.
Some polite way of saying it.
And it drives me crazy. Like, is it a confidence booster winning this?
I mean, it is because it's a win.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's a win, but I don't think beating another 0-3 team propels you to any greatness or anything like that.
No.
Congratulations, you beat another team, the one of maybe 3 other teams in the league that's worse than you. It's a win, but I don't know about propelling anybody to any great streak or anything like that because you beat another 0-3 team.
No, I think losing this is horrific for whatever team loses this, right? Especially for Miami. And, George took the words right out of my mouth, right? That would put us at 0-3 in the division, right? Which, I mean, if we didn't think the AFC East was out of reach before this game, it is certainly out of reach if we lose this game. I will say this, as a Miami, I'm going to focus in from a Miami Dolphins perspective. If we beat the Jets, are they 0-3? Yes. Is this a huge win? No. Is this a game we should win? Yes. What does this do? I think this is one of those minor stepping stones into seeing us string together a few good wins, right? I'm not saying that this is the kind of win or this is the team you beat to turn your season around. I think we have a lot of black eyes on our team right now. But what this does is this puts lipstick on a pig for a week or two. And looking at the schedule that is coming up for us with some of the lesser teams or the teams that are perceived to be a little bit weaker than us, some of the other teams that are dealing with key injuries or injuries at key positions, and then 1 or 2 big games that we have won in the past. I think if we can start building and gaining confidence in all 3 phases of the game, like we said earlier, that feeds off of each other. So the defense starts making plays. The offense wants to outshine them. So then they start doing things. And then when they start outshining the defense, then the special teams step up and then the defense. And then it's just this snowball effect into, oh crap, we strung 4 wins together. We're 4-3. Okay. I mean, it's not going to save anyone's career, but hey, at least we're not in the bottom of we're not in the bottom of the league. Do I think stringing 4 or 5 wins together should save anyone's job? Absolutely not. That's TBD. Let's see how the season plays out. However, I think a win like this really is a step in the right direction.
I think the first sentence here in Blake's statement is spot on.
Especially the last part.
It's what I'm really looking for. Does the team come out playing like they played against the Bills?
Yep.
Right. Do they come out playing with that fire, or was it just because they were facing a higher opponent, they played up to their level, and now we're playing the Jets, let's start playing what we were doing the first 2 weeks of the season?
Mm-hmm.
I think that will tell us a lot about where this team is at in this game.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me round out the top 3 for you guys. That was our top 10 storylines. Dolphins, Jets. I almost said Patriots. Dolphins, Jets on Monday Night Football. We don't play the Patriots again until the end of the season. Number 3 was the Dolphins offensive line versus the Jets defensive line. Who has the upper hand in that battle? Who is the starting quarterback going to be for the Jets, Tyrod Taylor, or will Justin Fields get out of the concussion protocol in time for the Monday night matchup? He does have an extra day, so it is possible. And then the battle for the first win. Monday Night Football, national television, 2 0-3 teams, just what everybody was hoping for. Yay. Anyways, who will get the win there? That's the top 3 of our top 10 storylines on that Jets-Dolphins game. I can't wait for it, honestly. I'm still excited for Dolphins football, despite there being lots of struggles this year.
Yeah, look, I'm a fan, right? So what does fan stand for, Anthony? Fanatic.
Yes.
Right? Look, every week I go into a game saying, we're going to win this one in my head. I might not say it on here or in my actual predictions, or if I was betting the house, I probably wouldn't do it. But in my heart as a fan, this is going to be the game, fellas. We're going to throw for 900 yards and Tua is going to look like an MVP. And then I get disappointed, and then we rinse, wash, and repeat. So
absolutely,
let's see what happens.
Yeah. And we mentioned this, I think, in the reaction show.
Yes.
We have a streaky coach.
Yes, we do.
But that could also be a terrible thing. We'll see.
Depends on which way the streak goes, I guess.
I mean, if we win 7 straight and we finish 7-10, is that still good? I mean,
well, that's fair. Fair point.
All right, let's move on to the predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Please throw your predictions in the chat as I explain what predictions we're going to make. We would love to see what your thoughts are as well. So each of us, these hosts right here, and you, because we'll count you as a host too. You're here with us tonight. We're going to pick an X Factor player. This is a player who is going to greatly affect the game in a positive way for the Miami Dolphins. A bold prediction, which is something that is extremely difficult for somebody to achieve. That's why it's bold. And then the final score. Josh and I have set our final scores before the season even started. Up to this point, neither of us has actually changed a predictive score. Let's see if that changes here in this wrap-up segment. But please give us your X Factor, your bold prediction, and your final score, and we will throw it up on the screen for you and just have a little chat about it. So let's start with you, Josh. We're going to start with the X Factor. Who is going to be making the game-changing plays in this one?
Yeah, for me, it's actually a position room, right? It's 2 players in particular, and that's the running back room. I think this team needs to get back to what drives this offense, right? The style, which is we are a run first, which opens up the pass game. We're not a pass first that opens up the run game. And I think if our offensive line can start gelling some plays together and Achane and Ollie Gordon can start gashing the Jets front 7 a little bit, 5 yards here, then 6, then maybe a 7, then a 2, then a 5, then a 7, then a 2, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I think it will drastically make this game much easier for both Mike McDaniel to call, which would hopefully prevent him from overthinking things, and Tua in the exact same thing. It'll allow him to just play football, right? So for me, it's the running backs.
I'm actually going on the defensive side of the ball for the first time. No, not the first time this season, but the first time it is not on the defensive line. And I'm going Minkah Fitzpatrick. I mentioned it before. I think Minkah could have an enormous impact on this game. Agreed. I think Isaiah Rodgers winning the game for the Minnesota Vikings this past weekend.
I think hell of a play.
Yep. I mean, I think Minkah has the capability to not only force turnovers, but to score easily. This is a Jets team that plays just about as undisciplined as we do. So get your fists ready, get some punches going. I think you can make some guys drop the ball. Braylon Allen and Breece Hall have both had, have both been prone to the fumble. Tyrod Taylor is definitely prone to the fumble. That dude runs with the ball held out like it's a hot potato.
Please, swipe it.
I mean, get that ball. I mean, just Weaver, just let Minkah go. Don't give him any assignment. Just let him go. Let him find a way to make a play. For the love of God, I'm begging you. Throw somebody else back there. Let Ashton Davis play in the center field. I don't care. Let Minkah just go make a play. I think Minkah is my X factor for this one. So let's dive into bold predictions, Josh. It better be bold or I'm coming for you.
Oh, this one's bold. And I'm really excited about it. So kind of taking a step further from my X factor about the running back room. I have Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon combining for a total of 4 touchdowns on the game.
Oh my. Just a
Yep.
reminder, because I can see Josh's prediction and I see that he does not predict it 4 touchdowns for the Dolphins. The bold prediction and the final score prediction do not
Right.
have to align.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, that is very key. Yes. Thanks for doing that math.
Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon comboing for 4 touchdowns would certainly be a
Yes, it would.
wild game for Miami, and I would be all for it.
Yes,
It would be hard to sleep that night
It
if
would.
that happens.
It would. Yes,
Honestly.
Would being the operative word, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways.
Yeah. Hey-o. I'm hoping I can one up you here because I think the defense shows up. I think they found some momentum in that Bills game. I think they forced 2 turnovers and they returned one of those turnovers for a touchdown. Mr. Minka's tying into my bold prediction as well because I think he would be the one to do it. Miami defense locking down a win with 2 turnovers and a touchdown.
I love that.
Final score, bud.
Let's do it. So
let's go.
I don't remember exactly what mine was preseason when we did the season preview. I think it was like 31-17 or something like that. I've changed it a little bit. I have us still winning the game, 21-14, Miami.
The first change score of the season comes against the Jets, lowering the amount of points we score, which I could totally see that.
Yeah, and I still think 21 might be a little too high, but that's okay.
That's within reason. I did not change my score. I am sticking to it. 27-21 victory for the Miami Dolphins. I saw this as a win early on before the season started, and I still think this is a winnable game for Miami. So I'm going to go 27-21. I do think the Jets are a tougher opponent than maybe we have made them seem in this episode of the show. But just to remind you, if you're a Jets fan watching this, we are Dolphins fans. We don't owe you shit.
Amen. And if you don't like it, subscribe before you leave. No.
Let's get to the chat. Here we go. Miami 38-31, high-scoring game. At least it would be entertaining. I'll give you that one right there.
I'll take it.
He comes back. He says this is an X factor. This seems more like a bold prediction to me. McDaniel benches Tua for Quinn. And Zach is what?
Okay.
He's not playing? That would be insane. That is bold. That is very bold.
That's bold.
Let's hit up Delusional Fin Fan here. He says the X factor would be Devon Achane. He's right in line with you there, Josh. And he's for his bold prediction, the Dolphins forced. Oh, he's in line with me too. They forced multiple turnovers.
There we go.
Which is the first of the season. We win 17-10 in a game that most football fans would like to forget as soon as humanly possible.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to hit a block guy here. 34-17 Miami. He has us thrashing the Jets on Monday Night Football. Phillips gets a strip sack fumble. Kenneth Grant, our first-round pick, recovers that fumble, and he returns that bad boy 60 yards for a touchdown.
Bumbling, and stumbling.
3 of us have predicted a defensive touchdown in this game. We all better be betting that shit, because if it happens, you can make some money off of it. And I'm not a betting man. But
no, and we do not advocate for betting, so don't mortgage your future.
Well, the NFL allows it now, so what's the difference? All right.
Well, that's fine.
Anyways,
go nuts.
Yo, huge shout-out. Sports Night with Jorge. Thank you for joining us for the first time. New subscriber, too. I saw you. I saw the bell. New subscriber, Sports Night with Jorge. Check out his channel as well. He does some fantastic Dolphins content as well. Delusional Fins fan, our old friend, goes by the name of Taylor in reality. Love you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Balaka, aka Blake, coming in here with the hot takes all night long. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're joining us but you haven't chatted, no problem at all. Make sure to hit the subscribe and like button if you liked what you saw, because then you will get notification the next time we go live. Spoiler alert, it's Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Boom.
Except for next week. Next week, we have a Monday night game, of course, that we just talked about the whole episode. So we will be doing our reactions to that game on Tuesday, and then we'll be back for some more Miami Dolphins football on Wednesday as we preview our Week 4 matchup against somebody who I can't remember off the top of my dome. Week 5 matchup against the Carolina Panthers. Sorry, not Week 4.
Very winnable game.
Yes. So Week 5 against Carolina is a winnable game. We'll preview that on Wednesday after we're done reacting on Tuesday. I hope for your all sake we win this game, or else Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be some miserable days for the show.
Well, yeah. We might not be talking about football. We might be interviewing GMs and head coaches on the show.
Oh, baby. All right. Well, that was our top 10 storylines and our predictions for the Dolphins-Jets Monday night matchup. Thank you all so much for joining us. Feel free to check out the channel a little later this week. We are going to start cutting these episodes up into more
Bite-sized
easier
pieces.
to watch segments, I guess you could say. We're going to have some shorts coming to you. We're going to have some just segment videos, which will just be each of like the top 10 storylines individually. So you can only watch what you want. So lots of changes coming, lots of good stuff coming to the 305 Gridiron. We thank you all so much for being here once again. His name is Josh, aka Aqua Ace. He's over there. I have no idea how the camera works. My name is Anthony Benzone. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, fins up, baby.